Good evening, everybody. The time is coming past for us for our Monday, April 16th, 2018 regular council meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Seager.
Present.
Alderman Mozio.
Here.
Alderman Villalobos. Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Tempest. Alderman May.
Present.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Taylor.
Present.
Mayor Cunningham.
Present. We're going to ask that everyone please stand as we ask Pastor Corey Ratliff to please come and lead us in the pledge. I'm correcting, and with invocation. And we're going to have Mrs. Hyde lead us in pledges, the Pledge of Allegiance, following the prayer. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, and to the council. My name is Corey Ratliff, and I'm the senior co-pastor of the San Liddell Church on the south side of Waukegan. I've been a resident for Waukegan over 25 years. Absolutely love it. Now, let us pray. Father God, we call upon your name, for you are a great God. You are a God of all wisdom. You are a God who loves greatly. And so, Father, we call out to you that your spirit would reign over this meeting today. Father, we pray for the spirit of wisdom to be poured out, that decisions would be made for the sake of the children, for the sake of the people, that we would care and love. Father, you are a God of love, and I pray that we would be moved by love in this place. Now we thank you. In your Son, Jesus' name we pray. And I say, amen.
Amen. Mrs. Hyde will be leading us in prayer. Pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you can stand up over there. Let's listen to him.
Item C, Madam Clerk. Let me get a motion on the floor. Motion by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Tempest, to adopt as presented Resolution 18-R-44, honoring the life of Mayor Richard H. Hyde. Madam Clerk will read the resolution, and I will present along with the rest of the council.
Resolution 18R44, Richard H. Hyde. Whereas Richard H. Hyde was born in Waukegan on November 24th, 1927, and whereas Richard H. Hyde attended Waukegan High School, where he played multiple sports and was active in the Reserve Officer Training Corps until his graduation in 1945. And whereas Richard H. Hyde joined U.S. Army Air Corps in 1946 and honorably served his nation as a tail gunner on a B-29 Superfortress while stationed in Guam until 1949. And whereas Richard H. Hyde attended Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, where his collegiate athletic career was very impressive, and he is forever honored in the Bradley Athletic Hall of Fame for his accomplishments as a football player, as a track participant, and a wrestler until his graduation in 1953 with his bachelor's degree and his teacher's certificate. And whereas Richard H. Hyde was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in 1953, but his NFL career was cut short due to an injury. And whereas Richard H. Hyde was commissioned as an officer in the U.S. Air Force Reserve and became a fighter pilot who flew an F-105 Thunder Chief and retired with the rank of colonel after 22 years of service in 1977. And whereas Richard H. Hyde started working at the Waukegan School District in 1959, where he coached football, baseball, diving, and wrestling. And during his tenure, he assisted the legendary Ot Bay in the wrestling program, where the Bulldogs won 4 wrestling state championships. And he was also baseball coach for the Bulldog Baseball State Championship teams in 1971 and 1983. And whereas Richard H. Hyde was athletic director of Waukegan High School from 1974 to 1994 and was named Illinois' Outstanding Athletic Director and inducted into the Illinois High School Athletic Directors Hall of Fame. And whereas Richard H. Hyde also served as Waukegan Park Board President in 1968 and 1971, along with other volunteer-based and civic organizations too numerous to mention. And whereas Richard H. Hyde proudly represented Waukegan's 8th Ward as alderman from 1985 to 2002, and whereas Richard H. Hyde helped to guide our community as mayor from 2002 to 2009, and whereas Richard H. Hyde left this world on Thursday, April 5th, 2018. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Cunningham and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby honor the life and legacy of Richard H. Hyde for his distinguished service and dedication to Waukegan. Be it further resolved that a suitably embossed copy of this resolution, signed by the mayor and city clerk, be presented to the family of Richard H. Hyde at the City Council meeting the 16th day of April, 2018.
Present this resolution to you, Mrs. Hyde, on behalf of myself, the entire city council, and all the citizens of Waukegan, for the service that your husband has given us, and the commitment and the love we have for this community. We thank you. Our prayers will continue to be with you and your family as you go through bereavement. Let us know Waukegan is always here for you as your family is here for us.
Just want to say thank you for this honor, and we accept this great honor for our whole family. Thank you very much.
Say something, Mary?
Yeah, Janice, I want to thank you for the services that Dick gave us. I've been here all those years when he was mayor, and you were sure a dedicated family for the city of Waukegan. You sure have given a lot to the city, and we appreciate all your family has done for Waukegan.
Anyone else from the Alderman's Corps?
Yes, I'd like to,
Alderman Valco.
thank you, sir. Say something for my neighbor and my good friend. Many afternoons, we sat in the driveway and had a nice cigar. Talked about his days in the military, talked about his days at Waukegan, talked about his days at the airport. Chris, Kathy, Janice, he was a good man. And thank you for allowing him to be my friend. Thank you.
Alderman Mosio.
Yeah, I started my teaching career when he was at Waukegan. I started my aldermanic career when he got elected mayor, and he was always so positive. And I'm sure we could tell stories till the cows go home, Alderman Tempest and myself being around him. I'm sure Alderman Velko too. He was always so positive. And one thing that I'll always remember is you always say, "Coach, how's it going?" Or, "Coach, what's going on?" "Whatever it is, it's good." It could be, we could have 10 feet of snow. Whatever it is, it's good. And he was always so positive, no matter what happened, and I'll just always remember that. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I will. I'll say
Alderman
something.
Newsom.
I came on with Alderman Moiseo as alderman under Mayor Hyde. And I remember being sworn in the same night I was sworn in. He was sitting right here and he looked over at me, being the only female on the council, and he asked me, well, what do you want to be called? And I said, Alderman. You know, I'm filling the title of the office. So after that, I think everybody felt comfortable with the only female sitting up here. So,
Yes.
so nothing but respect from him, and I respected him. So thank you to you and your family.
In the words of former Mayor Hyde, never better. Never better. All right.
Brother,
All right. Brother, that's what he said, never better? All right.
never better, brother.
Never better, brother.
Yeah, now, that was one of the many things he used to
That's right.
say now. Again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. And tell the sons, as he would say to boys, we said hello. All right? You guys take care. All right. Next on the list is Mayor's comments. Again, thank you everyone for coming. Our community, the Waukegan community is hurting from the recent loss of some major Waukegan leaders. Former Mayor Dick Hyde, retired Sergeant John Angelos, former manager of the Waukegan Airport Jim Stanzik, and former Waukegan Engineers Department employee Ms. Connie Henderson, all recently passed away. On behalf of the council, myself, and the city of Waukegan, we send our prayers to those families and our thoughts. Recently, we have been receiving some calls and emails about the PASS facility on Grand Avenue. The city of Waukegan is very compassionate toward assisting those in need, and this certainly applies to our homeless population. But as a city, we must also be compassionate to the business and residents of the city of Waukegan and the impact that the PASS facility has caused. We will support their programs as defined by the permitted use and also by the agreement between PASS, HUD, and the city as an intake facility and not a shelter. City stickers. The reminder to purchase your city stickers before May 1 deadline. Until May 1st, city stickers are available at the regular $45 price, but on Monday, May 1, the price for being late is $90.
Oh, my God.
Stickers can be purchased at the Traffic Division Window 2 in City Hall from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They can also be purchased on our city's website. Additionally, the Traffic Division will be open on Saturday, April 21st, and Saturday, April 28th, from 8 a.m. to noon. Another thanks to our Police Department Traffic Division Window 2 on the first floor of City Hall. Recycling. Residents, please remember that you can recycle tires and electronics at Waukegan's Public Works facility, located at 1700 Macquarie Road, from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. I need to repeat that again. Residents, please remember you can recycle tires and electronics at the Public Works facility located at 700 Macquarie Road from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. The bins are marked, and if you have any questions, feel free to speak with our Public Works Department or call City Hall. However, tires must be off the rim. We accept tires at the Public Works facility, but they must be off the rim. A complete list of electronics that Swalco accepts is also available outside council chambers or on our website. National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Last week was National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. I want to take a moment to thank our dispatchers for their incredible work in answering phone calls for the residents of the city of Waukegan. Upcoming events. Earth Day. As the weather gets warmer, supposedly. Yeah, I had to sneak that one in. There are a number of cleanups coming up. There is an Earth Day cleanup for the Port District, AAUW Preschool, the Amistad's cleanup led by Waukegan Main Street and MH Wozniak CPA, and a downtown cleanup led by Heart of the City in Waukegan's Main Street. Please sign up for any and all of the cleanups and take a role in Waukegan's war on litter. Art Walk. Art Walk is Saturday, April 21st in downtown Waukegan, Arts and Entertainment District. Take in the arts and enjoy live music at the mic at KPN Studio. Waukegan Chamber of Commerce is hosting a Wake Up with Waukegan on May 1st, with keynote speaker being Congressman Brad Snyder. I trust I'll see everyone there. Genesee Theater will host Lisa Lapanini on Friday, April 20th. As always, check the website for the Genesee Theater for more upcoming events. And I think there's one with Rosati's Pizza. Is that correct, David?
Yes, sir.
Here it is. Waukegan Girls Soccer Fundraising Event, Monday, April 23rd, 2018. Join us at Rosati's on Monday, April 23rd for great food and a great cause. Just drop by with this flyer, and Rosati's will donate 20% to the Waukegan Girls Soccer Team. Go for pickup and delivery. Rosati's, 226 North Sheridan Road, Waukegan, Illinois, 60085, or call 847-336-0100. This is for the camera, everybody, just in case. Cheese and sausage. Oh. This one right here really hits home. I want to highly recommend our Waukegan police officers, Officer Albee and Officer Jimenez, for their work during a recent incident last Wednesday. There was a 13-year-old young man who was waving a fake gun. This young man had this, and he was, I can't imagine what he was doing. But the two officers successfully resolved the situation without incident or tragedy. Yeah. It's to be proud. It's to be proud. Yes. You know, I am not a gun person. I don't shoot them, or it's not a recreation, and I'm not knocking them, but can you imagine being confronted as a regular homeowner if somebody brought this to you, just showed this to you? Can you imagine what you would do, let alone being a trained officer? And we have seen this play out throughout the country, typically with African-American young men. And it becomes a horrific situation for all involved, more importantly for that young man and their families, or young woman. But on this day, this time, this moment, that second, these officers, and I don't know what was going through their minds, they had an opportunity to take a bad situation and make it a great situation. And so often, there comes criticism for whatever the situation may be from an officer, if he or she maybe didn't react in the way they should have according to their training, or perception-wise, might have been perceived that they just didn't do the right thing. But I wanted to bring to the attention this time Waukegan officers. These two long-term guys saved the life of a little boy. And I want to thank the Waukegan News Sun for giving us some airtime. Because often, we don't talk about this. But I wanted to, I needed to. This young man has a second chance in life now. Because I don't know how I would have reacted. I can't ask any of you how you would have reacted. We thank God that these trained officers were there to react appropriately. And I think right now, we should give them a big round of applause. All right, minutes. Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Tempest, to approve regular meeting minutes from Monday, April 2nd, 2018. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Present, yes.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio. Aye. Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion is passed and carried. Item B, motion by Alderman Tempest, second by Alderman May, to approve the special community budget meeting minutes from Saturday, April 7th, 2018. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion is passed and carried. Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Valco, to approve the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes from Monday, April 9th, 2018. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion is passed and carried. Audience time, Madam Clerk.
All right, there's 3 minutes. I have the timer. Michelle Lopez.
Good evening, Mayor and Alderman. My condolences to the Hyde family. My name is Michelle Lopez. I am a resident of the 5th Ward. To be exact, I am 0.1 miles from the Lake County Pad Center that's located on the corner of Grant Avenue and Indiana Avenue. Today I stand before you as just one concerned resident out of so many business owners and residents with the same concerns that I have. I'm not here to bash anyone. I'm not here to downspeak on anyone. I'm just shedding light on what I've seen. This is my testimony. We need action, we need change, and we need your help. This is the reason I stand here. Forgive me as I am nervous. I've never had to do this before. I've always worked behind the scenes. But I feel that it's time to step up. Ever since the doors opened to the Pad Center, we were a bit skeptical as residents from the area. We started panicking, what's going on, what is this? We had no fair warning as to what this was. We started to learn as it progressed. We did at that point in time, we did have compassion and patience. We decided, you know what, let's fall back. That compassion has recently turned into frustration, anger, and it's rapidly increasing and spreading within the neighborhood. Many of our concerns come with the increase of criminal activity. We do show that there's been an increase in burglaries and in property damage, and we have surveillances that prove who committed the crime and where they came from. With Pad Center, not only did criminal activity increase, we also had an increase of littering. We find ourselves finding hypodermic needles, empty bottles of alcohol, old clothes, old furniture, private personal items that they either have to leave behind or stash away. There's even been to the point that this is what brought me here. I stepped in human feces. I shouldn't have to step in human feces while I'm walking my dog. I should have the ability to walk in a clean pathway, and I'm tired of cleaning up after litter that doesn't belong to me. I've tried to voice out opinions. I've tried to voice out to the center and reach out to the center. I always get transferred to a voicemail. Do I leave a voicemail? I've left voicemails. Have I gotten a call back? No. So I took it to social media. I did an open letter to PAGS. I didn't think I was going to get the reaction that I got from so many community goers. I was shocked to know that how many residents felt the same way I did. So this is why I'm here. Along with the criminal activity, the littering, let's not forget the loitering, the panhandling, the aggressive panhandling.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Juan Martinez.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juan Martinez. My deepest condolences to Mrs. Hyde. I'm speaking here as a private citizen. I am also a resident of the, I actually live on Tiffany, which is maybe a half a block away from the PAS Center. I've advocated, I worked as a client advocate when they were also in the naval base. And I also was here maybe 3 years ago, same scenario, you know. And what we're seeing now is something that we knew was going to happen. It's getting worse and worse. All right, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand a person who has half a scruple would want to open a residential area, a PAS homeless shelter where there's businesses and children. For God's sakes, there's a school maybe 450 feet away, and I know you guys pass by there daily. What is it going to take for you guys to open your eyes, finally say, hey, enough's enough? We are dealing with a very serious problem here. And for us to think that, okay, hope it'll work itself out. It's not going to work itself out. You know, I try to walk my dogs, and all I see is lingerie. I see needles, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I shouldn't be living like this. I pay my taxes. I have a mentally challenged sister at home who, thank God, is very self-sufficient, who stays home and takes care of herself. I'm concerned about 24 hours while I'm at work, wherever I'm at. In my neighborhood, we established something that's called a Tiffany Drive Association, where we took matters in our own hand. We created the Neighborhood Watch program. We do have an officer that comes out, but that is not enough. For God's sakes, let's empower these people. And if they don't want to be empowered, half of the people they're not even from Waukegan. They right here on buses, they arrive here on trains, and they loiter, and guess what? They get on the train and they go back to where they came from. What I'm trying to say here is very simple. It doesn't take a rocket science to try to figure what I'm trying to say. Something needs to be done. And I'm imploring you guys, that is not a homeless shelter. That should be a place where they're supposed to get social work and help and move forward. That is not happening. With every business that comes to Waukegan, there's always some kind of ribbon cutting. This was swept under the rug from the other mayor. You know, we had meetings. I knocked door to door. I went to business, and because they're not very, maybe they don't want to get involved because that's the culture that it is. But dang it, something's got to be done here, you guys. All right, let's not sweep this under the rug anymore. All right, let's help these people out and find sufficient housing for them, or get them out where they should be at. Who in the heck will want to open a residential area? I mean, excuse me, a PAD shelter in a residential area? Explain that. That's ridiculous. Enough is enough. Stop that blind eye. Stop driving by and stop saying, "Thank God I don't live here." Open your eyes, park, and there's nothing we can do.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Jay Giovanni.
First of all, our condolences to Mrs. Hyde. Thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you. I'm here to speak in behalf of the 7 gas stations that already had the liquor license for 7 years, maybe 10 years, from 7 to 12 years, and that was the range. So we don't understand why the existing businesses that we have, the gas stations, why the liquor license has been taken away from us. We believe those 7 gas stations should be grandfathered in because we're small guys. We're competing with many big gas stations. Some of us have paid more for the business just because it had the liquor license. We rely on this income to pay our employees. And again, I'm speaking in behalf of all of us, and I've gotten the feedback from all of us. And some of us would be in a shutdown decision because the liquor license would be taken away from those gas stations. And the liquor license was given 10 years ago. And we may have to do a layoffs. So in conclusion, I want to say that we have done nothing wrong. And as my children would say, that why am I getting the consequences for good behaviors? Because we have complied, we have been in compliance, and we have done nothing wrong. As we often say or hear in TV programs, that the crime has to fit the punishment. Here, really, we have been in compliance and we have been getting punished. So we humbly request that the 7 existing gas stations should be exempt from taking the license away. Maybe the new gas stations we can restrict, but the ones that are in existence since over 10 years, we humbly request again that those gas stations should be exempt from license, revocation or taken away, because we really don't understand why this is happening. Thank you.
Thank you. Leslie Henry?
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council. Mrs. Hyatt, you have my condolences. I know what it's like to be a wife and lose your husband. I know the pain that you go through, and you do have my condolences. A few weeks ago, I came here talking about the situation at the school where the 11 students were being charged as criminals. I heard 3 things here tonight. I plan to say something totally different, but I heard 3 things here tonight. The first thing I heard was a prayer from the minister when he prayed for the children and the city of Waukegan. Then I heard people talk about the pad shelter. And then I heard people talk about liquor license. Now, I began to realize years ago you couldn't have told me that there was a school to prison pipeline. But it's become evident to me it is. And there are certain steps to the downfall of people, of individuals. Those people at PADS, I'm sure they didn't start out thinking they were going to go to PADS. I mean, I have a college education. I've had some rough spots in my lifetime that I was not prepared to go through. When my husband died, Alderman Newsom came to my home, and she brought things and gifts for my kids for Christmas and invited us over to their facility. When my sister died, Mayor Cunningham's mother came to offer me condolences and also offer me financial support. So there is help in Waukegan, but there are steps to the downfall of people. When we take children and we criminalize them, we start that path. We start that path because how many jobs are going to see that child and say, oh, you were in that fight at Waukegan School. I don't feel safe hiring you. I mean, at the service stations, they're not going to hire them. Where are they going to go to? And it's your silence. It is your silence that's going to be the most damning thing to their lives. It is that the city council could have done something, could have stepped in, could have found other measures to do with these children to guide them in a different way. It could have been more a mission of love and restoring them and saying, well, we're going to teach you different ways. We're going to make you all come down here at this city council. We're going to have you clean this building. We're going to have you learn how government works. We're going to teach you tools to work and how to cope when these situations come. I heard that a lot of parents were fearful for their children's safety. Before this fight, were their children any more safe than they were when the fight came? But parents were not complaining then. I was over at the school complaining about gangs being outside the school, waiting for students to get out of school. There's a lot of things in Waukegan that need to be changed and need to be addressed. But by criminalizing these 11 students, what does Waukegan gain from that? I understand that some people think, well, you know, well, this is the way to teach them a lesson, but that's a hard lesson to learn.
Thank you, Ms. Henry.
Okay, and can I just say one more thing? That's my grandson there. If you all just look at him, imagine that's your child or your grandchild.
Thank you. Brother Blanks?
Brother Blanks, founder and chief president of Black Abolition Movement for the Mind. My condolences to the Hyde family, even though me and Mr. Hyde sometime had political differences, but condolences to you all. With the mob action, Mayor, I know you was quoted in the paper saying that you think that this incident is something that we can learn from. But, you know, I would say to that, I've been coming to this city council meeting for over a decade. You've been in city government much longer than that, okay? And, you know, with that being said, you and I both know this is not the first time an incident occurred where our students was charged with mob action from the school. So what I say to that is, you know, how long the city have to be in class on this incident or situation like this before we come up with some classroom etiquette to assure that this don't become a pattern and a practice to happen again. Now, I know, as it's stated in the paper, you're not in favor of moratorium on mob action, but whatever you want to call it, we need some immediate action that assure that our students are not being hit like this again. Something immediate, while I'm working on moratorium down in Springfield. But we can't have this. But as Ms. Leslie said, surely there was some other measures that could have been taken. I think since there wasn't a weapon involved when the school back in January, because you said you wanted to have a debriefing on what you think the school would do or what they thought. So, well, the school had already spoke back in January on what they thoughts were. That was when they implemented that's when they implemented the suspensions. So that was a school issue. It was not a criminal issue. So I don't think, as she said, these students should have been criminalized. So we got to move from that. And then, like she also said, what other things could we have done to prevent this? Well, the little unknown fact that what many of the citizens don't know is the very day after the detectives came into the school and picked up the last round of the students and charged them with mob action, the very next day, those same detectives, one of which was your son, was in the Trap Auditorium giving a lecture on gang prevention and violence awareness. So my position on that is, I think that was a day late, but that's something that should have been implemented before the fight. But to come in the following day after rounding up all the kids and do a lecture in the Trap Auditorium on violence prevention and gang awareness, that should have been happening before. So the school, in respect to Senate Bill 100, it has already said what the school should do. But we do not need police officers coming in and criminalizing these students as a first resort.
Thank you, Brother
opposed to a
Blanks.
last resort.
Thank you. Margaret Carrasco.
Condolences to the Hyde family. Everyone that serves in office, wow, it's just so overwhelming to the entire family. Tonight I will be brief and to the point. Those who know me know that I talk to a lot of people from the south side, north side. So I took the time to analyze and investigate the issues that people tend to be complaining a lot about, and for some time. The results I never would have expected in a million years, never. I have video, I have pictures to prove it, because I couldn't believe it myself. So tonight I bring a solution, or part of the solution. First of all, I'm gonna tell you who's not causing the problem. It's not Mayor Cunningham. It's not Alderman Mosey or Alderman Edie Newsom. A lot of people are blaming you guys on that, okay? It's not the chief of police. Who is opening their wallets and giving money to the panhandlers? And that's why a lot of the panhandlers also are tied in with this pads problem.
So, as I said, it goes between 4 to 5 o'clock on Belvedere and Green Bay Road, which is like panhandlers' heaven, based on 100 cars. This is what I saw. This was the fit. 99% of the people that opened their wallet and gave out money to the panhandlers there was 2 of them on both corners, fit into the profile. It was not white females. It was not white males. It was not black males. It was not black females. It was not senior citizens. It was not the youth of Waukegan. It was not Latino women. Bingo. 90% of the 100 persons who opened their wallets giving money out through the window were Latino landscaping trucks. The people who sit on the end there. The solution is very simple. It's a supply and demand scenario. So I'm appealing to Waukegan residents to do our part to eliminate this, at least make a little dent into it, I believe, a big dent. If you don't open your wallet and give them money, guess what?
They disappear.
They'll disappear and you'll solve the problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ralph Peterson, Jr.
I would like to start out by saying God said, give to the poor. I'm sorry for the loss to the Hyde family. I'm sorry for your loss. Okay, Mayor Cunningham, I see on tonight's agenda you are proposing borrowing more money. How much this time? 20 million, 40 million? Let's see. You've been mayor for less than a year and you have raised property taxes, sale taxes, and the cost of water. And now you are setting the stage to raise taxes again over the next few years. I ask, why do we need all this money now? How much of it is to reward your cronies? I believe you really truly understand that you are going to be a one-term mayor, so therefore you don't mind sabotaging the city nor the next mayor with all this debt. I also believe that you're not thinking about roads and infrastructure. You are thinking about how many more contractors you can provide contracts to in order to receive kickbacks. This is what I view. Mayor, you have not done anything in terms of a minority community since taking office. And we were really excited about our first black mayor, finally our turn. Mayor, you were right when you said you're pimping the city. And might I remind you that it's poor residents also, and you are breaking their backs with debt, intoxicating them with liquor license that you are selling, and then stealing their money with video gaming, one-armed bandit machines known as slot machines. Mayor, you called yourself, this came out of your mouth, the pimp of the city. I view that as being the only one thing you've really been honest about. Mayor, I told you that if you could find it within yourself to stop being crooked and arrogant, you would have myself and others. We want to support you. You are our first black mayor, but we will not stand by idle as you stick us up as though you were a gangster. It really bothers the black community that you vetoed the Sheridan Revitalization Plan. That meant a lot to the First Ward. Again, I'll say what I said last time. If you do halfway right, I will support you. But if you don't, we're just gonna keep doing this dance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Allison and Latanya Mallory.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, my name is Allison Mallory, and I would like to say sorry for your loss, Ms. Hines. Okay. My name is Allison Mallory, and I've been Junior Miss Waukegan since August 4th, 2017. This August 4th, 2018, it will be my time to pass my crown down. I have volunteered in the community. I have been in parades and fed the homeless. I will run again for Queen in 2019 when I can run for Team Miss Waukegan. I'm here today to spread the word about the upcoming pageant in 2019, this August 4th. And now my mom will be speaking.
We just wanted to spread the word about the Waukegan pageant so that other girls can get together. It's other things, and what we did this year, we volunteered. We was in a lot of parades. We handed out food to the homeless. And Miss Waukegan, she took in donations to pass out hats, gloves, and scarves. And they do a lot with the community. They help out. And we're just trying to get the pageant to grow in the community so that we all can come together with the kids and the girls to make it a safer place and get along and be happy. Oh, and it's gonna be this year, August the 4th, at the Jack Benny Auditorium. August the 4th, the Waukegan pageant. So if you know any girls that would like to join, it's a website too. You can look on the website, LCCP 6318 is the website. Oh, what's that? Well, you can look on the website and tell you the ages for the ranges for the girls. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ruben Ratana.
Well, good afternoon to Mr. Mayor and Yeldermans, and our condolences to your family as well. We're just here again on behalf of many businesses along Grand to tell you guys that we're tired of it. There's a lot of people that are here from other businesses as well that didn't get to sign up. But, I mean, I don't know how many new Yeldermans and new mayors it's going to take. You guys want a city of progress? Start there. I mean, it's getting out of hand.
What's getting out of here?
It's getting out of hand big time, and I mean, pads is just, I got a place. I mean, I don't know what to say, but like on our behalf, we're just tired of seeing and running people out of our parking lots, loitering, and so forth. The list goes on and on. And
Yeah, I know, Mr. Mayor, we have heard a lot of plans about, for Waukegan and stuff, and, you have a lot of, good things coming our way, And I think the only way that those, ideas and plans are gonna come together is if we start with taking care of past relocating. That's all we want, we don't have nothing against it, we just want that place to be put somewhere else. Because it stops right now. It stops because they know we're here, so it's pretty quiet out there. We open at 5 in the morning, or we leave almost till 10 o'clock at night sometimes. But it starts all over again. And then we came last time. It did stop for a little bit, but we got new people in town. We know people that are not from the area, and they're coming out of town and robbing and breaking in, and they get on the train and hop on and take off to Chicago, and we'll never find them. It's getting pretty crazy. But we need to put this place in a different location, man. Safety first, you guys see needles in the floor, kids come across that street where Pat's is at. I don't think you guys will be happy to see some of your kids step on me. Oh, we're gonna be really pissed, man. So it's just, we need to relocate that place. You wanna see Waukegan do better? You wanna bring events to Waukegan? You wanna bring people from outside of Waukegan to come in? Going through here, it's not gonna be like, they're gonna be like, think twice and just turn around. It's not gonna work. Just relocate this place, that's all we ask for. Because there's a lot of people not from Waukegan in our, they're all over in Gurnee, they're in Kenosha, and it's just spreading all over. A lot of people will, we could have this place full. A lot of people are scared to come, but we're speaking for them. So, I love Waukegan. I grew up here in
I was born here, and you know, I don't like it to see it how it is now. It just looks bad. You know, we have so much possibilities to do here, but bringing in people to
Thank you,
here.
Mr. Ratana. Thank you. Mr. Charlie Pitts?
Well, I guess I'm going to start with, you came to the Justice Howe banquet, and you said something about doing what you could to stop the death of another person by the police department. And I just feel, to hold you at your word, that I think it's wise for you to start with a police committee, just as you have all these other committees, so you can talk about policy and procedure and crime in the area, all of these things. It's going to be a good start to show that that you're serious and that the community needs some type of interaction and some type of way to interface with the chief of the police and the other people besides coming here. This pad situation, of course, some of you know I'm going back to San Francisco, California. So this stuff that you're talking about, it's common. It's common. When I get off the plane and hit back San Francisco, I should expect to see that when I'm going down Market Street, their main street. It's everyday common. I mean, the thing is I see people that I know from Waukegan in San Francisco, and some of them are homeless. So I'm saying it's government's problem that they have caused people, in part, not all of government's problem, but in part, the extreme poverty, the lack of fair wages, children being abused in the foster care systems and the school systems not taking care of it. I'm saying our government has caused this problem. And I feel like it's gonna be government that can bring some of the solutions. And some of the solutions are gonna come from out of this community. You don't have the studies, you don't have the infrastructure, you don't have the, there's many things that you're missing. You're gonna have to get them from other communities. You're gonna have to get that information from other communities as to how to deal with the extreme homelessness. It's horrible. You know, San Francisco, the median house is $1 million. Now explain it how, okay, you got $1 million house and you're living and you bought $1 million house and somebody comes and defecates on your front steps.
Thank you, Mr. Pitts. Thank you. That concludes audience time, Mayor.
We had motion by Alderman Bolton, second by Alderman Seeger, to adopt as presented Resolution 18-R-43, honoring the Waukegan Historical Society's 50th anniversary. Madam Clerk, read.
Resolution 18R-43, Waukegan Historical Society. Whereas this year marks the Golden Jubilee of the Waukegan Historical Society, formed on April 24th, 1968, to preserve, promote, and educate the community in the long and varied history of Waukegan, Illinois. And whereas the Waukegan Historical Society, for 50 years, through the annual events, including the Tour of Homes, the Historical Marker Program, and the Oakwood Cemetery Walk, has promoted the rich culture, history, and architecture of the city of Waukegan. And whereas the Waukegan Historical Society, in partnership with Waukegan Park District, has further combined efforts in researching, preserving, and displaying Waukegan's history at the Waukegan History Museum, at the Haynes House, and the John L. Raymond Research Library. And whereas the Waukegan Historical Society with the Waukegan Park District has encouraged historical and community awareness through outreach programs presented in the schools and to organizations that annually reach over 6,000 people. And whereas the Waukegan Historical Society is now engaged in furthering its mission with a museum expansion project to protect our artifacts and historical reference resources for future Waukegan generations. And now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Cunningham and members of the City Council of Waukegan, Illinois, do hereby recognize the Waukegan Historical Society with great appreciation for the tireless efforts of board members, society members, and volunteers, and do hereby bestow this resolution honoring the founding of this institution 50 years ago. And be it further resolved that a suitably embossed copy of this resolution signed by the mayor and city clerk be presented to the Waukegan Historical Society at the City Council meeting on the 16th day of April, 2018.
All right, come on up, everybody. Ty, you're gonna be the spokesman, I'm assuming? No. Barrett? Who's gonna be the spokesman tonight? Why don't you say a few words, then we come in and
Very good.
then I'll present.
Mayor, City Council, Mrs. Hyde, my name is Harry Kane. I'm president of the Historical Society for another month. We very much appreciate this. This is the 50th anniversary. We're very proud, particularly of what we have been able to accomplish for the city. We hope that there's another 50 years coming where we can achieve all the same things we've done over the last 50 years. Thank you so much.
I present this to you on behalf of myself, Waukegan City Council, and citizens of this great community for 50 years of service to us, and I'm looking for another 50 more to go.
There you go.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to handle,
No.
but we tell society. Thank you. All right, it's picture time. I'll get on the end. Mr. Morzio, how you doing, sir?
That's my dad.
Hey, you, all these familiar faces here.
Thank you again.
All right. Motion by Alderman Morzio, second by Alderman Villalobos. Correction. Motion by Alderman Bolton, second by Alderman Villalobos, to approve a special, recognition for North Shore Printers celebrating 85 years in business anniversary. Come on out.
Is that the Callahan's?
Yeah, that's the county. And Larry says that the county. Yes.
My uncle voted, worked for those guys, Uncle Nels. He worked for him, Uncle Nels did, yeah. Yes, how many years ago?
5 years in business.
Yeah.
Carrier is here. He worked for Norfolk Printers for 43 of those years.
Wow. Look young.
I started when I was 6.
My uncle worked for them at Norfolk, Uncle Nels Gusting, yeah, for years and years.
On behalf of myself and the entire city council, and how you represent your family, have represented this community.
Yes.
And it's throughout the state of Illinois. Let's be clear, everyone. This company has been does business throughout the state of Illinois that I know, and I think beyond. And you carry on that legacy your family. And my mom and dad will be very, very proud and happy today that you and your sisters have really carried on that tradition, good service, and making Waukegan proud. And that we have this Waukegan Proud Award for you. And it reads, the City of Waukegan does hereby present NSP, North Shore Printers Inc., the Waukegan Proud Award in recognition of your 85th anniversary of business in the City of Waukegan, signed by myself and the City Clerk. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you, and we know more business to come. Take a picture with it. This is 85 years. This is way beyond mine. Yeah. All the all take a picture. I think we gotta move over. Yeah, move over so we get the entire city Waukegan. Here we go. You ready?
We're all looking this direction. We're smiling. We're happy. 85 years. Wow.
Thank you, Mayor Cunningham and council members and friends here. North Shore Printers is proud to be a third-generation family-owned business doing business in Waukegan for 85 years. The company is a certified women-owned business as well as a union shop, and the only union label in Lake County as currently. North Shore Printers was founded by my grandfather, James Callahan, in 1933 in Waukegan. In the midst of the Great Depression, he found himself wiped out by the stock market crash, and the sole remaining asset was a small printing company, which we have continued in business for the last 85 years. My father successfully managed the company for 30 years, and now my sister and I are continuing the tradition as a family legacy. Thank you.
No, wait a minute. The person who has done this for 43, you have to say something, man.
Okay, I started working at North Shore Printers the week I graduated from high school.
What?
And I've been retired for 6 years now. So to work for the same company for that many years, that means a lot to as a family-owned business. I'm proud to have done it.
Well, thank you. Right out of high school, we should have given you a Waukegan Proud Award. Yes, for the one company for that long, everyone know that'll never happen again. No, it's unheard of, as Alderman Newsom would say. All right. Here to present the 2017 Kate Corey Award, I'm going to ask, she's coming up already. Miss Jane Drew Wilder, please come on up. And she's going to take over, but I'm going to be by her side. Uh-oh. Well, somebody has done this before, and I haven't they?
Is that coming down, David?
Ready? On behalf of the Waukegan Arts Council and the City of Waukegan, it is my pleasure to present the annual Kate Corey Award to Corey Ratliff, Senior Pastor at the Sign of the Dove Church in Waukegan. Corey is a dancer, a choreographer, a singer, a teacher, a visionary, a family man, a man of God, and a man of the world. The Kate Corey Award was created by the Arts Council in partnership with the city to recognize a Waukegan artist whose artistic platform extends beyond the city of Waukegan. The award is named for Kate Corey, who was born in Waukegan in 1861. She was the daughter of a prominent newspaper man here in town. During the Civil War, it is said that the Corey home had a secret room in the basement, which was a stop on the Underground Railroad, where runaway slaves would hide, waiting for a ship in the Waukegan Harbor to take them north. Corey Avenue on Waukegan's near north side is named after the Corey family. Kate Corey's career as an artist took her to the American Southwest, where she painted the Hopi Indians and their landscape. She is considered one of the West's best artists. Corey Ratliff's career as an artist took him to Waukegan and to the wider world. He is passionate about dance and about the power of dance to redeem and transform. As part of his ministry, Corey founded the Alats Dance Club in Waukegan. Alats means to jump for joy in Hebrew. If you have ever seen Corey dance, you know he can jump for joy. And when you see his dancers dance, the kids that he has in his club, Waukegan kids, you know they know how to jump for joy too. The Sign of the Dove has affiliations with churches in the Czech Republic and in Uganda. Corey has traveled frequently to the affiliate churches overseas to share his passion for his ministry and his passion for dance. While in Uganda in 2015, Corey was introduced to Samba Isaac, who is here today with us all the way from Uganda. Samba Isaac is the founder and artistic director of Pure Love Uganda, a not-for-profit organization which seeks to mobilize and equip Ugandan youth with purpose and destiny through the power and love of God. Corey has partnered with Pure Love Uganda to run dance clinics in Uganda, and with the help of Alats Dance Club, he has raised funds for scholarships for students in Uganda who might not otherwise have the opportunity to go to school. I'm going to break now, and Mr. Motley is going to give us a little clip that shows some of the things that Corey has done.
You don't want to knock you out.
Or me.
Is that down enough?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Corey Ratliff, and I'm from the U.S. I'm with Dance Mission International, and I'm here with my friends from Pure Love. Yes, this is Pure Love Uganda. They are a wonderful, wonderful group of kids who know who they are in Christ. And so we have spent an awesome day today doing many different dance styles. Have you guys enjoyed? Yeah! Yeah, it's been a very powerful time.
joy on the faces of those children. And so now you know what I mean when I say Corey brings joy. So I'm delighted to present this year's Kate Corey Award to Corey Ratliff, whose message of hope and redemption through dance resonates throughout the world. Corey?
They've been waiting to do this all the time.
Have your wife come in.
She's with the...
She can come in. She can still come in. Bring the baby in here.
Thank you.
Keep the baby quiet. Corey, here you go, man. Congratulations to you and your family and your mission. All right, big fellas. You're not twins, are you? We good. Me and you are good. We need to come over some? There you go. You want to say something over here? Corey, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you to the council. And thank you, Jane. Thank you to the Waukegan Arts Council. Truly appreciate all of you. It is my mission to truly bring dance back to Waukegan. When I went to the first art walk that I attended, I noticed that dance was not represented. And I was just like, wait a minute, I'm a dancer and I'm from Waukegan. We need to do something about this. So I'm happy to be a member of Waukegan Arts Council, happy to be a resident of Waukegan, and my desire is to see these youth do something powerful. So thank you, I truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Finance Committee, Alderman Valco.
Thank you, sir. Finance Committee met this evening and authorized a motion, granted a motion to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a grant agreement with the Illinois Department of Housing and Development for $250,000 abandoned residential property municipality relief program, round 3. And what this is, we were awarded $250,000 from the IHDA, and the purpose of the grant is for securing, maintaining, demolishing, or rehabilitating abandoned residential properties. And this is the 3rd year that we've gotten it. We get up to $250,000. The building can, when they go in and they do something to rehab something or cut the grass, board up service, whatever it is, we put the money up front, and then the IHDA will reimburse us for it, and I so move, sir.
Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Bolton. Are there any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager. Aye. Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor. Aye.
Motion's passed and carried.
Item B, sir, the committee voted to grant retroactive purchasing authority to the IT director in an amount not to exceed, and we amended this on the floor, of $105,000 instead of the $75,000 relative to computer supplies, maintenance, and professional services from GHA Technologies, Incorporated, for a fiscal year ending April 30th, 2018. There had been some invoices that were recently found, and with the with the policy that we're doing now, sir, to the $20,000 a year policy, what we want to do is put them all together and do it. My question to the Corporation Council would be, since we amended this in committee to 105, do we have to amend it? It just didn't make it to the paper here. Do we have?
We're going to have to
amend it again?
amend it again, and we will present a motion to ratify this
Okay.
at the next council meeting.
Okay, should amend it, then vote on the motion even, okay. So I will make that motion to amend the 75,000 to 105,000.
Again, there's a motion on the floor by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Bolton to amend the motion B as recommended. Voice? Roll call, roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor. Aye.
Motion's passed and carried.
No, the amendment was passed.
I'm sorry, the amendment is passed and carried. There's, again, another motion.
Yes, sir, I'll make that motion to pass.
Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Seager. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor. Aye.
That motion's been passed and carried.
As amended.
All right. Item 6, Public Works, Alderman Newsom.
I'd like to make a motion to go omnibus. Since we have 13 items, I will read them in.
Motion by Alderman Newsom, second by Alderman Mozio. All right, and what we're
can vote on
doing
that.
right there, what we're doing, all the items in Public Works will come under one vote, as opposed to going through each and every last one. It's something we typically do when there's that many, when it's concerning basically house cleaning. Okay? And this is a voice vote for omnibus. Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor. Aye.
Okay, here we go. I'll read them all in. Item A, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve an extension to the water meter annual bid agreement with Badger Meter at the current 2017-2018 pricing for an amount not to exceed $40,000. Badger Meter has agreed to holding the current pricing for the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Funds to be charged to line item 555-74400 inventory. Item B, motion to authorize the proper city officials to approve a change order for Capanella and Sons of Wadsworth, Illinois, in a not-to-exceed amount of $225,187.25 due to emergency repairs, Section 2-458I2, for a water main break on Wilson Road. This is for an additional $9,452.25, which exceeds the $215,735 previously approved by the City Council. Funds to be charged to line item 555-91602-7043. Item C, motion to authorize the proper city officials to allow the payment of SWALCO annual operations and maintenance fee, invoice for an amount not to exceed $36,490. Funds will be charged to line item 218-1218-24420. Item D, motion to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a contract with the low qualified bidders for the water plant chemicals for the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Attached is a list of the bids received along with the low qualified bidders. The low qualified bidders are as follows: Karis Chemical of Peru, Illinois, potassium permanganate Nate, $3.38 a pound, and blended phosphate, 42 cents a pound. Alexander Chemical of Peru, Illinois, $3.99 a ton. Aluminum sulfate, $308 a ton. Standard purification of Denilion, Florida, powdered activated carbon, $1,395 a ton. SNF, Polydyne of Riceboro, Georgia, $6.20 a pound. Penco of San Felipe, Texas, $348.72 a ton. Funds to be charged to line item 915525464. Item E, motion to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a 3-year contract with Clark Environmental for a mosquito abatement contract for an amount not to exceed $65,600 per year for years 2018, 2019, and 2020. There was an RFP put out, and Clark Environmental was the only proposal submitted. Funds to be charged to line item 100-910624425. Item F, motion to authorize the proper city officials to award the bids for 2018 manhole and catch basin frames and grates to the highlighted low-qualified bidders that are attached. The bid opening was April 6, 2018. This contract will be for a not-to-exceed amount of $37,359, with $33,059 being awarded to NIA. Funds to be charged to line item 555-9130-25468. Item G, motion to authorize the proper city officials to award the bids for the 2018 manhole and catch basin frames and grates to the highlighted low-qualified bidders that are attached. The bid opening was April 6, 2018. This contract will be for a not-to-exceed amount of $37,359, with $4,300 being awarded to East Jordan. Funds to be charged to line item 555-9130-25468. Item H, motion to authorize the proper city officials to award the bid for the 2018 water plant filter media. Attached is the bid tab with the recommended highlighted low-qualified bidder, Equori Corporation, for $419.37 per bag tote for the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Funds to be charged to line item 555-9155-25464. Item I, motion to authorize the proper city officials to award the bid for the 2018 hydrant assemblies to the low-qualified bidder, East Jordan, USA, for an amount not to exceed $35,000. Attached are the bids that were received. Funds to be charged to line item 555-9155-25493. Item J, motion to authorize the proper city officials to award the 2018 annual commodities bid to Peter Baker and Sons of Lake Bluff, Illinois, for high-performance pre-mixed surface, $150 per ton delivered and $130 per ton picked up. Bulk prime, $800 per ton. HMA surface course, and $52 a ton, and HMA binder course, and $45 a ton. Attached is a spreadsheet with the highlighted recommended low-qualified bids. Funds will be charged to various line items. Item K, motion to authorize the proper city officials to award the 2018 annual commodities bid to Ozinga of Makina, Illinois, for Class S.I.6.1 bag PCCC for $132.50 per cubic yard, CLSM 1 bag for $106 per cubic yard, winter service $10 per cubic yard, November 1st through March 31st, and non-chloride accelerator $8 for 1%. Attached is a spreadsheet with the highlighted recommended low-qualified bids. Funds will be charged to various line items. Item L, motion to authorize the proper city officials to enter into a 4-year contract with Rivers Bend Engineering for the lakefront environmental operation and maintenance services for permanent containment cells at the former OMC Harbor. There was an RFP put out, and Rivers Bend was the only proposal submitted. The pricing proposed is $36,790 for year 2018, $37,885 for year 2019, $39,415 for year 2020, and $40,980 for year 2021. Funds to be charged to line item 100-7129-24627. Item M, motion to authorize the proper city officials to extend the current mowing contract with G&S Services for a 90 to 120-day period as is, for an amount not to exceed $91,000. Any work requested during the extension that is not covered in the current contract will have to be priced and paid for by the department that is requesting the work. Funds will be charged to line item 100-910-624410. And I so move.
Mayor, get Alderman Newsom some water and oxygen, please. Chief, we got some oxygen back there?
All right, goodness, yeah. All right, there's a motion on the floor in a second. Are there any questions to any of the said items on number 6, A through
M.
M?
13. And I will say, during this 90 to 100-day extension period, we will be combining some services and be bidding it out. So that's why we have an extension.
Okay. All right. With that being said, roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton? Aye. Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Mozio?
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos?
Aye.
Alderman Newsom?
Aye.
Alderman Tempest?
Aye.
Alderman May? Aye. Alderman Valco?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
All right, motion is passed and carried. Item 7, a motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Villalobos, to accept the monthly treasury report. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is passed and carried. Item 8, motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Tempest, to reconsider the creation of a Class C1 liquor license for a limited purpose for grandfathering existing gas stations which have full liquor license sales to continue in operation without interruption. No new full liquor license will be permitted for other gas stations, and any transfers of grandfather stations would require city council approval for a new owner to secure a full liquor license. The total number of gas stations that would be approximately considered for the C1 license is the 7. The original motion was made to deny the creation of the C1 license on April 2nd, 2018, and approved by a 9-0 vote. There is a motion on the floor and a second, basically to grandfather those 7. And as it's stated in the motion, that's really what we're doing. Are there any questions to the motion?
I have a comment, sir.
Motion, I'm sorry, Alderman Valco, then Alderman Mozio, and Alderman Seager.
Okay. On the way home, last time when we voted for this, I got home and I started, on the way home I started thinking, when I got home, it just didn't seem right to me to deny people, or to take away, not deny, to take away their licenses that have had licenses for some time. Anywhere from 7 or 8 years. I didn't know how long they were, but I heard tonight it could have been 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then I got a couple of phone calls at the house, and talking with the individuals, and it just seems the right thing to do. And that's the reason I'm bringing it up for reconsideration, sir. And I would be voting yes on this.
Thank you. Alderman Mozio, then Alderman Seager.
Yeah, this situation here goes to the exact reason that we are trying to redo the liquor code. So we don't have all this, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, happen again. I mean, the liquor code is almost as, liquor and parking are almost as complicated as the tax code, for crying out loud. And we're trying to get, I don't know, a control or whatever the word I'm looking for on liquor licenses and things of that sort. My general opinion on liquor licenses is I treat liquor just like any other commodity. Go ahead and sell it, but if you don't sell it the right way, you're not going to have the license. I voted no last week because I just felt like, we got to try to put a stop to it some way, I guess, maybe. But I'm usually a proponent of if you want to sell it, it's no different than potato chips to me. I may be wrong in that, but that's just my thought. And I agree with Alderman Velko about taking away from something that somebody had, but we're not going to be issuing any more to anybody else any other convenience store or gas station that wants to come up and serve liquor. Again, you gotta sell it the right way. It's just like a tavern. If you don't do it the right way, then we gotta take the license away from you. And that's my general feelings on it. I just wanted people to understand why I sort of switched to my philosophy. It really hasn't changed. It's just that, again, it goes back to, this is why we're trying to get a hold on all this liquor license. It's just a quandary sometimes. It's a quagmire. It's very difficult. Thank you.
Alderman Seager, then Alderman May.
I have to agree with Alderman Valco and Alderman Mosio. It's a business. You run it right or don't run it at all. That's all I ask. Run it right. And with that, that's it.
Alderman May.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to be clear in cases for clarification. We weren't looking to take away your liquor licenses. We were taking away the ability to sell hard liquor at gas stations. So I just want to make sure, because the verbiage I've been hearing tonight, if I wasn't sitting up here on the council, I would think that the council was trying to completely strip you of your liquor licenses. But it was just the ability to sell beer, wine, and hard liquor. So I just want to make that clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman May.
Yeah, thank you. There's a motion and a second on the floor for reconsideration. We need to vote on that and then come back and vote on the actual ordinance, correct? All right, roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton? Aye. Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Mosio?
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos?
Aye.
Alderman Newsome? Alderman Tempest?
Nay.
Alderman May?
Aye.
Alderman Valco?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
And this is just to rehear the.
Correct.
Okay. Aye.
All right, so there's a motion on the floor to reconsider that has passed. Now we will vote on the actual, the creation, I'm not going to say creation, but the grandfathering of these seven licenses as it was originally intended. Okay?
Quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
The C1, I'm trying to remember, when the C1 license was proposed, was that part of the section of the ordinance rewritten with the fee and everything in it?
Yes, so all that applies. We just never added those seven.
But I'm saying we had to create a C1 because we didn't have
That's
the C1.
correct. Okay, you're right, you're right.
The
I'm sorry.
licensing fee was in there?
Yes.
Okay.
The answer to the question is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Just so we're clear, everything that was passed of the new liquor code will apply. We just, and as Alderman Mosio said earlier, this was just, you guys just wasn't a part of it. I don't know how to better explain it. So we're kind of correcting that. And I'm glad we wrote it in here so everyone understands. If you sell, right now, you don't, the license goes. So if one of you sell and it comes from 7 to 6, that's it. You can come back to the council and ask, I don't know what the council is going to be like in 15, 20 years from now, but I know the intent of it is where we're at. All right? So we have a motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Tempest, to approve the C1 limited grandfathering for the existing gas stations. All right? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton?
Aye.
Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Mosio?
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos?
Aye.
Alderman Newsome?
No.
Alderman Tempest?
Aye.
Alderman May?
No.
Alderman Valco?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
No.
The motion passed and carried. And I want to thank the Alderman for not only considering but listening to the reason behind it. I really appreciate that. I'm almost for our small business as well. Item 9, motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Taylor, to approve vendor payments dated April 16, 2018, in total amount of $339,163.36. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton?
Aye.
Alderman Seager?
Aye.
Alderman Mosio?
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos?
Aye.
Alderman Newsome?
Aye.
Alderman Tempest?
Aye.
Alderman May?
Aye.
Alderman Valco?
Aye.
Alderman Taylor?
Aye.
Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Bolton to approve regular payroll dated April 13, 2018, a total amount of $1,459,340.22. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
A motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Seager to approve elected officials' monthly expense account payroll dated April 13, 2018, in a total amount of $6,391.66. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Mozio to approve civil service payroll dated April 13, 2018, in a total amount of $4,750. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Taylor to approve final cash out payroll dated April 13, 2018, a total amount of $25,741.83. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Newsome to approve Local 150 comp time cash out payroll dated April 13, 2018, in a total amount of $1,205.01. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Tempest to approve IAFF clothing allowance dated April 13, 2018, a total amount of $41,225. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
And motion's passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman May, to approve Local 150 safety shoe and tool allowance dated April 13, 2018, a total amount of $180. Roll call, any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
The motion is passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Tempest, second by Alderman Bolton, to adopt as presented Resolution 18-R-45, a resolution for the submission of an EDA grant application for the reconstruction of a portion of Seahorse Drive. Any questions to the motion?
Question?
I'm sorry, Alderman Villalobos.
Yes. So this sounds exciting and great to me. My one question actually is regarding pedestrian access. So is there plans, because we just got some paper, but I didn't look at it, but when I read through this information, I didn't recall seeing anything about pedestrian sidewalk usage or anything like that, or bikes, because as you know, we get a lot of kids and young children that walk along Seahorse Drive trying to make their way to the beach to enjoy themselves for the summer days. So I want to make sure there's a safe space for them to actually traverse now.
Absolutely. That's one of the key benefits of this program, actually, is the separation of the pedestrians and bicyclists from the trucks in particular.
Okay.
If you look, starting toward the back of your little packet that I left at your desk today, about 3 pages in, you'll see renderings that look like this. This particular one's out of the Sustainable Shoreline Plan, a little deeper in. From the back, there are ones specific to this grant application. But basically in these renderings, what you're seeing in orange is the pedestrian path, And in green is the bioswale and landscaping alongside the reconstructed road.
Okay, yes, thank you. Yeah, this is just handed us today, so didn't get a chance to review
Yes,
this.
it was. And this is a draft of the grant application. You'll see there are notes to myself in the narrative about enhancing different things, so know that this is not the final grant application. And this is on a parallel path with the city's grant policy. When the grant agreement comes in, if we're successful in getting funded, that will come before you for approval also, as all of our grants do in the city's grant policy. This is just a step that this particular funder requires, a resolution authorizing the submission of the application, authorizing the mayor to be the signatory,
Right.
indicating the amount of the grant, and that if we sign the grant agreement, when that ultimately comes in, that we'll dedicate the funding to the project.
That was clear to me. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. A roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton. Aye. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
All right, motion by Alderman Seager, second by Alderman May, to approve all raffle sale applications. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Bolton, to approve the annual appropriation ordinance for fiscal year May 1, 2018 through April 30th, 2019. Any questions to the motion? Alderman Taylor.
I'm going to say at this point, I will not be voting for this, and I want to express why so that residents understand, is that we are taking bonds out on this, and I've been kind of asking questions and found out today that there's actually bonds that we are looking at to take out at later dates. And until I can get clarification, which we should be getting at our May 7th meeting. But to me, even though we can vote on these separate, to me, I've got to see the whole big picture before I can vote on a budget. So that's just my personal feeling. So I can't vote on a part until I have the whole picture. So I am voting no on this, but I want the public to understand why. Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Mozio.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
No.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
No.
Motion passed and carried. Item 11, closing items. Alderman's time. Madam Clerk.
Alderman Bolton.
I want to thank us, CBDG, for assisting my resident in receiving something very special. I also want to thank our Public Works Department and our code inspector for just, every week I get calls from my resident in the First Ward, and I just want to say thank you for being attentive and doing exceptional work. Thank you.
Alderman Seager.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mike Tully. He works for the Forest Preserve and his crews. This last week, they came along. We've got a beautiful forest preserve throughout the Second Ward in the city of Waukegan. And for some reason, people just dump garbage. Okay, the wind comes up, whatever causes it. I'd like to ask the public to help me and all the rest of the aldermen keep the wards clean. Pick up. Put some pride in yourself, you know? Some pizzazz. In other words, if you see look, before I came to the council meeting tonight, I went down Elmwood Avenue going south. I've been through that area all afternoon. Didn't see anything laying on Elmwood. Come to the stop sign, and I find a 12-pack bottled, empty bottles, and a package beer. And a big trash can laying in the middle of the road. Well, what do you think this Irishman did? I picked it up, took it home, threw it in the garbage. Why can't everybody else do that? I mean, don't think like me, but actions speak louder than words. So I'm asking the public, please, work with all of us throughout the whole city. Let's get it cleaned up. And thanks, Mike, and all you guys that worked this last week around the Forest Preserve, 14th Street, Route 120, Lewis Avenue. My God, thank you very much. That's it.
Alderman Lozio.
Yeah, two things. I don't think the judgment and discernment of those officers can be understated, that the mayor talked about at the top of the council meeting. I mean, the fact that they were able to diffuse the situation, for lack of a better word, I mean, we all know what the other alternative could have been. We've seen it around this country time and time again. I don't know what, I teach 13-year-olds at some point, and I don't know why that young person was walking down the middle of the street with a fake weapon. I've seen a lot of things in my time. That's one that I have not seen, and when I came across, I called the chief right away, and I could not have been more complimentary of those officers. I called the mayor and told him, because I see things, maybe not that drastic, but I see a lot of things being a high school teacher, and a lot of times it comes down to judgment and discernment, and obviously those officers had it. And I really don't think that can be understated. I really don't, especially in this climate that we have in this country right now. The other thing that's a contentious issue is pads. We've been down this road before. Maybe I can shed a little light. The reason that the pads is there is that building was given to them for free. So that's why they're there. It's a resource center now. Somewhere in this, I'm sure not all of the people that are walking that area. That area is unique because it borders Alderman Newsom's ward, my ward, and Alderman Villalobos' ward, right in that area, Grand and Lewis area. And so we all get complaints about it. But I'm probably pretty sure that not everybody that is wandering that area causing these problems is associated with pads. Some of them maybe, not all of them. What we need to do is we need to sit down with the people that run pads and everybody. We need to figure this out and figure out a solution. Because I don't want the business community and the residents coming up here complaining about it. You shouldn't have to live like that either. We all understand that. So we need to come to I know the people that run pads, and they're willing to try to help as best they can. I know our police department does the best that they can with it. We need to try to come together and try to figure out a solution that we can make this better. None of us want to live like some of the explanations that these people have. We understand that. And yes, the panhandling and that stuff has increased. So I'm sure in that area it's concentrated, but like you said, you go on Mrs. Carrasco, about Green Bay Road, and I mean, we all see it. And again, the mayor said it, I don't think we can say it enough, don't give them any money. Don't do it. And I'm probably speaking to the choir out here, but we have to try to get that message across that don't do it. If anything, tell them, try to direct them somewhere they can get some help. But we have to try to come together to get this. I don't want the businesses to be mad and lose business. I get that. So we have got to try to come together and get this fixed. I'm willing to listen to every opportunity, every solution, every suggestion that anybody has. You can get a hold of me, you can email me, or you can call me, 847-997-7376. Call me between 8 and 3, you probably don't get a hold of me because I'm teaching school. But after that, I'm willing to meet with anybody about it, or you can email me. That email might be, it's Moisio, 3rd Ward, @comcast.net. You can email me, and I will come and talk to anybody that wants to talk about it, because we have to find a solution to this. And on that note, if somebody can help me up here, we had a church from Gurnee come and pick up the litter around. It was the Baptist church. No, not what. It's in Gurnee. What was it? I couldn't find it on my email fast.
I think is it Bethel Church or something like that.
It was. he sent us an email.
They're gonna be picking
Ben
up.
Squires from the, what was it, Alderman Villalobos? I couldn't find it on mine, I'm sorry. He came and he showed me an area, he gave us a map of what he walked and cleaned up.
And he's
And it
gonna be doing it.
And it was
next
actually
week.
in that concentrated area that we're sort of talking about.
Yeah.
So, and again, the best way to communicate, I don't want to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a hard time with words tonight. I don't know, maybe teaching all day. But I don't want to discourage anybody from coming up here at audience time. But just understand, when you come up here at audience time to tell us something, there's no give and take. You call me, I come see you, we can talk all day. All right? That's a much better way to communicate. I'm not trying to discourage you. Come up here, let us have it. That's what we signed up for. But if you want true solutions, you got to get us to come to you, and I'll do that. All right? Thank you.
Alderman Villalobos.
Before we go on, the name of that church was Bethel Lutheran Church, 5110 Grand Avenue, Gurnee, Illinois.
I called him and thanked him immensely for doing that.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be,
Yes.
he's got some other dates set up, 3 more dates set up to go out and clean up. I believe Thursday.
He gave
and
us
then
that
next
email.
week-
Right, he gave us that email, and unfortunately, they're all times during middle of the day, so, but some people may be able to join him if they want.
I will say this, I have asked Public Works, there's a couple of people that Mike has assigned to things like this. They're going to be out there on all of those dates, assisting from the Public Works Department. I think I'm out May 3rd. I think I'm going to be there May 30, but the Public Works Department will be with him on those remaining dates, just so aldermen know. I know all of us can't be there all the time, but part of the city will be there. So if they have garbage bags, whatever, we have a truck there with them and helping out. That's what I've asked Public Works Director to do, and right now I think he has about 2 people assigned whenever we have a bad area. They just go out and hit it. All right? Thank you very much for bringing it up, and I did forget that. Thank you.
So, couple things. Number one, I just want to mention how blessed and lucky I feel. The cleanups that the mayor mentioned before in his mayor's comments, the Clean the Amps does, part of 4th Ward is part of that. The Port District, the lakefront cleanup, that's 4th Ward also, as well as the Heart of the City cleanup that's happening in May, that's in the 4th Ward. So I'm very lucky to have all these people that are willing to help clean up the community. For those who don't know, I do that too. I'll be doing some more cleanups throughout the 4th Ward over the summer months. And there's also one other cleanup that's happening this weekend on Saturday. Sorry, I had it in my calendar and I switched screens. From 10 a.m. to noon at the Ray Bradbury Park. So if anybody's free and available, come join. I'll be there too for Saturday, April 21st, 10 to noon, Ray Bradbury Park for cleanup there. And that's that's being hosted by one of the business owners in the 4th Ward. So again, lucky to have the people I talk to start really receiving my message about let's keep it clean, and as well as my other colleagues here, their message about keeping our community clean. The other event that I want to bring up that's going to be happening before our next council meeting is the Cinco de Mayo event hosted by Greater Waukegan Development Coalition. And that event's going to be happening on Saturday, May 5th and Sunday, May 6th. The May 5th start time is 4 p.m. And the way this is on Facebook, I don't see the end time. So, but know that Saturday and Sunday, and that's going to be happening at the block that's encompassed by Sheridan Road, Water Street, Genesee, and Washington, where Midwest Bank is, I believe. There's going to be an event hosted there on May 5th and 6th for Cinco de Mayo. Other thing I want to bring up, Waukegan Youth. So I also substitute teach in district here, and so through my volunteers and then through my substitute teaching, I've been able to make connections with the youth of Waukegan. And I just want to thank one of them in particular. Her name is Angie Jose. She graduated from Waukegan about 2 years ago. She's a sophomore at Northwestern University down in Evanston. And I met her through my time as a volunteer coordinator at the Waukegan Public Library. Actually, her older sister volunteered, and then I met her in conjunction. And Angie also was a fellow for Clean Power Lake County last summer. and really helped out the community with some community event planning and raising awareness about the environmental issues and the air quality of Waukegan and those issues, environmental issues that we have. But I do want to thank her because this is where my personal life and professional life kind of blend at times. I did reach out to her because my niece was interested in possibly attending Northwestern, so it was nice for me to have a contact there. So I reached out to her and she showed us around the campus. And so this is again one of those places where the youth of Waukegan there are amazing students that come out of our community, you know, and she's one of she's one of them. And she was telling me about what her summer's gonna look like. She's gonna be doing some research projects in Mexico. So she's really gonna be moving forward in life. And again, those are one of those great shining gems of Waukegan. So I wanna make note of that. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Alderman Newsome.
Thank you. I was not going to touch on PADS, but I will since it sits in my ward. It was a year ago that PADS was in the paper when the mayor closed the doors. And here we are back a year later, and things haven't gotten any better. Just want the residents and the businesses to know that we haven't forgotten about what's going on over there. We are, like Alderman Moiseo said, the building was given to them, but it was supposed to be a resource center, not serviced as a pad shelter. That's why the zoning over there is only for a resource center. And things have kind of turned into they're operating like they did when they were at the VA. So it is not in the right place, my opinion, because it sits too close to a residential area. But we are working on some things. We're trying to think out of the box on things that we can do to try to take care of the situation. And I just want you all to know that we're not sitting on our hands. There's some things that PADS has to do as far as fencing that we're still waiting on. We're not looking to expand anything else over there. It's supposed to be an intake. And when it came in, I've said this last year, when they came in, it was supposed to be a resource center. You come in, you get your services, and you leave. Not a day treatment center, not a pad shelter. And that's what it's turned into. I think we didn't really know the scope, or we weren't told the scope of the services that they would be providing at that site. So we're trying to work on some things, see what we can do to help the residents in that area, the businesses, and also not turn a blind eye to what the homeless need. They need services too, but I just don't think it's in the right place to provide those services for them. So just want you all to know that we're not sitting on our hands and we're not just doing nothing, but we're kind of limited on what we can do, shy of just closing the doors and sending them off someplace else. We can't really do that. So we're trying to think out of the box, trying to think of some other things that we can do. So just a little patience, and hopefully things will turn around and they can get a little stricter on their clients that they serve, where they won't be out causing problems at the businesses and in the residential areas. So just be a little patient with us. We haven't forgotten. Thank you.
Alderman Tempest.
Pass.
Alderman May.
Thank you. I just wanted to congratulate North Shore Printers. The Callahan families, excuse me, they've lived in the 7th Ward probably for more than 60 years themselves, the family. I grew up with the youngest daughter. Besides having a privately owned business for 85 years in our community, the parents, Harold and Joan, who have passed, they were instrumental in our park district. They were on the community board that developed our school district, Dunesland, community players. And now Shar Wozniak, who is here this evening, she continues that spirit of community giving. She has been instrumental in the Waukegan Boosters, our band foundation. She's on the board at her church at St. Dismas. Her husband, Marty Wozniak, he cleans the Amstutz 3 times a year and pays for lunch for everyone who shows up and supplies all the bags and vests. So, I mean, this, besides being this long-standing business, they are the ultimate community involvement family. They just have given so much to the city of Waukegan. So I just thank you, Mayor, for recognizing them tonight for a small print shop, and they are a union print shop to still be here 85 years later, and Charlotte still lives in the 7th Ward, Charlotte and Marty. I just thank you so much for recognizing them this evening. As far as the liquor and gas stations being reconsidered tonight, I'm glad that the owners got together and you exercised your right and you voiced your opinion and it worked out in your favor. I don't want to see our small businesses go out of business. We've heard very loud from the community over the last couple of years that there's too much liquor, there's too much gambling in our community. So our goal is to listen to the residents in reworking the liquor code. It was not to hurt small businesses. So congratulations to you because you prevailed. You used the system and you prevailed. I guess my last, the PADS is not in my ward, and you have 3 aldermen, very competent and involved aldermen working on that, and I'm glad that all of you are very engaged in that subject. And I'm glad that people have brought up the fact that these panhandlers all over our city and all over our county are not all PADS clients. You could close the doors on PADS tomorrow. We will still have panhandlers all over the city. And a couple of meetings ago, I did use my alderman's time, and so I was glad Ms. Carrasco came up here and said it. We got to quit paying. We got to keep giving them money. We have to stop giving the panhandlers money. There's been, Mr. Williams and I have talked about it a couple times, and I've seen it in Evanston at high panhandling corners. In my ward, it would be Sunset and Lewis. But in Evanston, in certain neighborhoods, they put up these decorative, like, parking meters, and they encourage people, and that's where people panhandle on those corners. They encourage people who have, you're human, you want to give them money to buy lunch or whatever, to put the money in the meter rather than to the panhandler, and then all the money collected in those meters goes back to the social service agencies that provide services. I don't know if something small like that could start helping us, but the city of Evanston does have the program, and we don't have to invent the wheel. It exists. It's out there. But my wish is for the business community and the residents, the aldermen, and to include the PADS executive director and maybe some employees from PADS, maybe start a neighborhood, whether it's a watch group or neighborhood watch groups are already an existing structure. You can start a group. If everyone gets involved and you all work together, I really do believe that you're going to come up with a good solution. And I know everyone keeps saying we can't have it in a resident, and I get that, and I don't live there, and so I understand. But the thing we have to keep in mind is the Grand Avenue corridor has all the services. There's the health department, there's the Erie Health Center, there's the services for them. They need to be, the people who really need the services need to be on a transportation route. So those are all the things that I'm sure you will consider. And I wish you, all my blessings on coming up with a peaceable solution. That's all I have.
Alderman Valco.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a bad week for Waukegan. It lost 3 of its citizens, prominent citizens. And it was tough on me because I lost 3 friends. All 3 were my friends. You heard me get choked up a little bit about Dick Hyde because he was my neighbor for the last 21 years before he passed. And we used to sit in the driveway, as I said, smoke a cigar and relax and shoot the BS and talk about all sorts of things. And then we'd go up to the airport, the Waukegan airport, because Dick, as you heard tonight, was a pilot. And then we went to see Jimmy Stanzik, who was also a pilot. who ran the airport for the last several years and was very instrumental and was the main reason why we got the air show back. And then I would just sit there for about an hour between these two, just laughing, the way they would tell stories. My brother was in the Navy. He retired from the Navy. He was an F-14 pilot, flew the Tomahawks. And, you know, you could just hear these guys talking back and forth and what they would do. Jimmy, his family also owned Stanzik Bowl, for those of you who remember North Chicago. And he also owned Grand Bowl, obviously on Grand Avenue in Waukegan before it went down. And he also went to Bradley University, and that's where he got his nickname of Sluggo, because he held numerous hitting records for Bradley University. And the last one today that I said goodbye to was Johnny Angelos. He was a sergeant here in Waukegan, over 30 years. The last couple of years were tough with him with his illness. But I got to tell you, there was no better street cop that I've ever served under than John Angelos. And all three were my friends, and I'm going to miss all three of them. The last thing I want to say is the mayor touched on something during his remarks about Officer Jimenez, Johnny Jimenez, and Officer Chris Albee. Both, I got to tell you, because they both worked for me when I was a commander in community services, and both were excellent officers, both of them sharp cookies. I cannot tell you how hard it is to come up on a kid, and I don't care if he's 13, 15, 20, or 7, and he's got a black object in his hand that looks like, in this case, if you all saw the photograph, a small semi-automatic weapon in his hand, and we could have very well had a tragedy like Cleveland had a couple of years ago, where they pulled up, the kid had, I believe, a BB gun or an air gun or something, and they shot him, because you cannot tell the difference. Chris and Johnny saw the kid fake shooting at houses. Kid took off, ran him down, and talk about school, the kid was in violation of school curfew. He was out screwing around when these coppers came up on him. So my hat's off to Chris Albee and Johnny Jimenez. Hats off to the chief, you, sir, for all the training that's being provided because of the stuff that's been happening. And kudos to the whole police department. So it's a tough job. It's a very, very tough job. And many thanks to those two again, sir. That's all I have.
Alderman Taylor.
I also want to thank our Waukegan Police Department, not just for this, but for everything that they do every single day that they don't get recognized for. So thank you. I want to remind people that starting May 1st, I believe our water bills will be coming, will go on the monthly system. So you just got your water bill now, but be prepared in another month from now, you're going to get another water bill because we're switching from quarterly to monthly. So don't panic when you get it.
We'll pay it.
Yeah. It won't be as big as your quarterly bill, so that's the good
It's like
news.
all other utilities, gas and electric,
Yeah,
it's gonna,
exactly.
it's gonna be monthly.
But I just want to warn people, because this week you just got your quarterly bill, so don't be surprised when it shows up again. I also want to remind people not just about getting city stickers, but the importance of getting dog tags. We have an enormous amount of dogs in this community, and unfortunately, very few people will buy dog tags for them. Not only is it important that if your dog is lost, because many people don't microchip their dogs, but it also tells us that the dog has had their rabies shots, because in order to get that, you have to prove that the dog has had the rabies shot. I will tell you, as someone who just rescued a Waukegan animal control dog, this poor little girl has not had any of her vaccines, and within a week period had to go through umpteen vaccines. Not fair for any dog to have to go through. If you're a responsible owner, take the time to register your dog with the city. It's only fair. If you don't want the burden, don't become a dog owner. Last, I want to address the panhandling situation. For those of you who are on Facebook, one person's Facebook page you might want to look at is Don Wilson. He's a Gurney trustee. He happens to drive around a lot and sit and talk to some of the panhandlers on Grand Avenue in Washington, on Belvedere. And when you sit and hear their stories, very few of them are the veterans they claim to be. Very few of them are really necessarily homeless. Many of them are actually users, and this is money that they are using for drugs. Some of them are actually part of a group that is, I'm going to say the word gypsies, that they go from area to area and get money, and they actually have a truck that drives them around. You'll see it sometimes on the in Home Depot off of Belvedere. So again, we all encourage you, please, I know Waukegan has the biggest heart, but I'm going to ask you to please stop it, because you're not helping these people get the resources that they need, and you're not helping the community as a whole. So just like I said, if you want to know their stories, take a look at the Facebook page and you'll see some of those. Lastly, I want to address the gas station owners. Again, I understand your point, and I, unfortunately, sometimes when we are trying to make decisions, people get caught in the middle, and I truly apologize where you're at. I just personally happen to believe that I don't think our city needs hard liquor in gas stations. I think that beer and wine I'm comfortable with, but when we get into hard liquor, I just have a problem with it being in a gas station. So that was why I voted no. So thank you.
I would agree, yeah.
All right, with that being it, I'm going to entertain a motion, but I do want to speak to this. Alderman Megg, you did say something about the services that are in Waukegan. For those who don't know, Waukegan is the county seat. And a lot of the services, and I'm going to call wraparound services, that are offered to your homeless, to those who are don't have the means to either pay or get some of the essential things they need in life, they're centralized in Waukegan. And that's just fact. This is what it is. And Alderman Taylor, you said tonight, Waukegan's hearts, we're big. That's just who we are and what we are. We can't change that. I don't even think we want to change that, at least I don't. But what has happened is that other communities know that we have these wraparound services that are here. They know. If you go as far as Lake Cook, obviously you know on the north side of Lake Cook Road is Lake County. Some folks don't want homeless, low income, and other things that might not be popular in affluent areas out throughout the county. I get it. I've heard it all before. Waukegan is this, Waukegan is that. I get it. We lead the way, and we don't mind leading the way. But what we do mind is having other people from other communities come here and take the services that we need in Waukegan. That's what we mind. So when individuals say how they, Waukegan is being wrong, maybe we saying things about past that, they're people of this, or they're people of that. But some of their clients are not Waukegan residents. Let's be clear. And we still open up our arms. We would think they would go back to their communities, but they don't. They get creative. They panhandle. They go to the grocery stores and sit. They walk up and down the business communities of Grand and now Lewis, They become very dangerously close to not breaking the law, and I forget what that was, Chief, help me out. If you
Aggressively panhandle.
aggressively paying him, they're right on the edge there on the cusp. I get all of it. But when is enough for Waukegan, for us to take care of Waukegan, and we have 100, I'm gonna say 110 off the books, 90 on the books. We have enough of our own issues that our own Waukegan people open their arms out, from churches to businesses to city to, I can look at the Community Development Block Grant list of agencies who they help fund. These other communities are giving them money to get on the train, to get the bus, in the cab to come to Waukegan. We don't complain, but this right here has to stop. And the agency who we're partnering with, we've collaborated with, extended our hearts with, our hands and everything else, you're going to have to help. And whatever that help may be, with an existing agreement or new ways, because maybe you have new people or new individuals coming into your agencies. But we can no longer be the burden and carry everybody's problems in the city of Waukegan. We just can't do it. So as we move forward and try to negotiate and come to a better understanding, don't say we ain't trying to help. Just as I want to walk down Grand, Lewis, Glen Flora, Belvedere, you go to other communities, they don't have these problems. Lake Zurich, they sued the county not to have a pad center in their community. They lost, but it's not there. We didn't sue. We didn't say get out, but we must have better. And that better must be from us and finding different ways from the agencies who provide the services. And it's not to pick on pads, it's pick on anybody. We must get better. And I agree with Alderman Newsom, and I'm saying this publicly. I don't think that location is the best location for that service. Let's find a location we all can agree on so we can provide the best service. That is something that we have to talk about. But we can no longer ignore. No longer ignore what it is. Now we need to manage to what it is. So I trust as we move forward with these conversations, and that the business owners and the residents of not just the Fifth Ward, but throughout the city of Waukegan, bring your complaints or issues to us. You're not hurting our feelings. And we will come up with a resolution that I think will be a win-win for everybody. But we can no longer ignore this problem because it's beginning to boil over. And when it boils over, it just won't end well for us. Because at the end of the day, it's Waukegan's name on it. It doesn't say, and Joe, please don't take this the wrong way, it doesn't say Social Security office, it doesn't say pads, it doesn't say any social services. It says Waukegan. When it hits the front page of any paper, it says Waukegan. Our job is to defend and protect, without passion or prejudice, the city of Waukegan only. So I trust that these words will be heard and we come up with an open mind for a better process in dealing with this problem in our community. Thank you all, Aldermen, for your input, and I look forward to working with all. Motion by Alderman Mozio, second by Alderman Taylor to adjourn. All those in favor? Motion's passed and carried.